Hi, today I'm going for a demonstration how to create CentOS Linux virtual machine on Azure cloud platform. Microsoft Azure is very popular cloud platform attached to Microsoft Corporation, and that is very popular, and we'll see how we can create different virtual machines. Today I am going to demonstrate how to create Linux virtual machine on Azure cloud platform. Microsoft Azure, you can use 180 days trial version you can activate on your account, then you can do these experiments. Today I am going to demonstrate how to implement Linux virtual machine on Azure cloud platform. Linux virtual machine, this Linux virtual machine is CentOS, right? Free services, under free services you can find many, right? Many free services are there. Here I am going to start this one, that means Linux virtual machine. Linux virtual machine. This is very fast, right? Other than we are installing Linux server in on-premise, this is very fast. Within few minutes we can complete the task. Right. Okay, we'll go ahead. Once I clicked on create, you have to answer some questions. That means you have to provide some information required for virtual machine creation. First, asking what is the plan. For free account you have only this plan, Azure subscription 1, select it, and you need some resources, right? There are different resource groups are there. Some we have already created, but already created things I can't use since those resource pools are empty later. First I have to create one fresh resource group, right? I am creating one, create one, right? I am creating this as Linux resource group, that's already exist, RSG, right? Resource group, that's already created. Later in this process I am adding some resources like CPUs, memories, I can add into the resource group. Virtual machine name, I have to give some one name here. I'm going to install CentOS Linux. This is my machine name. CentOS Linux is the machine name, right? You can give it correctly. CentOS Linux, right? CentOS Linux, right? Then what is the region? Asia Pacific region, nothing to change. And what is the image? Under image you have to select what is the Linux version you are going to install, right? You have Red Hat, you have CentOS, you have Debian, you have Ubuntu, CentOS, all those you can install, right? Here I am selecting CentOS 7.1. What is the Linux authentication method? I am selecting password. I am going to authenticate password, not the SSH public key. That is separate method, we will discuss that later. Right. Username, there are some compliances. You can't use reserved words. Reserved words mean what are the words used in Linux, those words we can't use, right? As an example, root is inbuilt administrative password, right? Root is inbuilt administrative user account, then we can't use that name here, right? That is reserved word. Like that there are many reserved words. Right, just to see I am typing here root, right? Now it says usernames must not include reserved word. Then I am adding another root user. Right, now complied. All are green, that means I am comply with my username requirement. And a password. Password needs uppercase letters, lowercase letters, characters and numbers, right? Right. Then I have to confirm my password. Right, and there are no errors. And here inbound ports. What are the inbound ports? Port mean a point a person can inside the network, right? Port, right? To enter into the country, we are using ports like airports. Same way, to enter into the network, we are using some ports. These ports are initializing by port numbers, right? Here the inbound ports, since we are using Linux, we can't open RDP port we can open in Windows operating systems. Here I am going to SSH is very important port. We have to definitely open this SSH port. SSH port is using to access remotely using SSH client like PuTTY, right? I will show you how to download and access PuTTY once I finish this installation. And I need these HTTP protocols and HTTP ports to access use in a web-based interface. Right, I am going to show you how to install this web-based interface too. Right, then for that I need this inbuilt ports, standard ports, port 22 SSH port, port 443 that is HTTPS port, and port 80 is the standard hypertext transfer protocol HTTP port. Right. Once I open those ports, it says this is access is open for outsiders. Okay, at the time being we will let it go. We are not going to use this server in a corporate purpose. This is only for training purpose. Later we will discuss how to secure Linux server. Right, that page is finished. I'm going to the next page. Tags. In tag page I can allocate some resources. There are 12 resources included here. I have selected all, right? See, network interfaces, these IP addresses, many resources are there. Then I am going to add some resources here. I am giving a name and I am giving all required. You can give any name in this value column, right? And I have selected all. Right, that is enough. You can give one by one, right? Giving one resource name, add in one, but here I am adding all at once. Right, that is finished. I have added all resources. Now this is adding to that resource pool what I created in the previous step. Right, now we are in the last step. Now this source, what are the configurations? 1 CPU, 1 GB memory. This is the standard configuration we can get for free machine. And Azure subscription is this, and the Linux RSD, that is the resource pool what I have created in the installation process. CentOS Linux is the machine name, and Southeast Asian time region, and the Linux clone, what is the Linux image what I selected, and all those are there. SSH, HTTPS and HTTP protocols I have opened for the access, and these are resources given under resource tag page. Right, now everything is finished. This is very quick and simple. Now I am going to create. If you are going to install in a local on-premise machine, then we have to spend more time, right? We have to burn ISOs, we have to download ISOs, we have to burn ISOs in CDs or DVDs, and we have to boot, and we have to install, we have to face many problems while in the installation process. That will take around 2 to 3 hours we have to spend for server installation, right? Server installation. You can install not only CentOS, you can install Red Hat, you can install Debian, you can install Ubuntu, right? We have to wait till this finish, till Azure will prompt once it's finished. Till that we have to page enter, and we have to wait till that finish, right? But this is quick once comparing with on-premise systems. Deployment in progress, right? It seems finished. It says deployment is success, right? We'll see whether that machine was created. How I'm going to check that? I'm going to the Azure home page, the portal, and I'm opening my virtual machine area. Yes, there is a machine, CentOS Linux. See, Azure subscription, operating system is Linux. See, there is a public IP too, 136770. That IP address also there. There is one disk, virtual disk assigned. Right, open this by click on this machine. Right, see this, these are configurations. This is very important. I am going to copy this to my clipboard. Another thing is I am going to paste it in my WordPad, 136770 and 240. This is the IP address. This is a public IP address. Now we have opened that port to SSH port. Using SSH client we can access the cloud platform, the cloud server. Right, now PuTTY is one of popular SSH package. This is, you can install this on your Windows machine, right? You can download this, and you can download what is the required package, what is the relevant package to you, right? Then you can download this MSI package and you can install that in your computer, right? Install it. Once you install, that is available in applications. Now I am going to open that. Right, this is the PuTTY app I have installed, right? And what I am going to do is I am going to load my Linux server here. I am going to connect to the Linux server what I have installed. Copy the IP address that is already in the clipboard. Anyway, then I am opening my PuTTY and I want to paste it here. I can connect it anyhow. I am going to save this connection. I am saving this. Then furthermore, I don't want add my IP address each time I am logging in, right? Now I have saved this. I am going to connect with this. This we have to accept at the very first when we are accessing any machine at the very first time. Right, I have accepted. Then we can log into the system using SSH client. Right, here I am going to install, first I am going to log in. I am going to log in as root user. root user, and the password, I'm giving the password. Right, now I have logged out. But right, you should know Linux commands to navigate inside the Linux. Now this if we type cd / that is going to the root directory, right? Root directory that is like the disk C in Windows, right? Here we are not using the drive letters, right? Anyway, if you ls is same to dir command in Linux, in Windows, dir command in Windows, that is Windows or DOS, right? That is same to ls in here. Now you can see what are the files, directories stored in this particular machine, right? Anyhow, but we don't have sufficient privileges on this machine. Once the root user is not the root user, really that is not root user. That means all root privileges not allocated for this particular user, right? Then what you can do is you have to gain root access, right? You have to gain first of all your root access, and you don't know what is the password of root to go for that, right? Then what I am going to do is I am going to change my user count, right? I am going to change the user password, root password, but I don't have the root password, existing password I don't know, but there's a possibility to do that, right? sudo is very important command. Right, we can use this for gain right, we can use this command sudo -i. We can use this for change to the user root user, right? Here I have to give what is the root user password. My root user password is what I have given. Right, now I am root. You can see that here root at CentOS Linux. Root at CentOS Linux, I am root user. Previously that is root user. Before I execute that. Now I am the root. That means I have all privileges, but I don't know what is the password. All the times I can't do this. Then what I am going to do is I am going to change this password. Right? How we are going to change the password passwd root. I'm going to change the root's password, asking the new password. Now I am going to change root's password, not the root user password. The super user's password I am changing, root password. Then I am giving my own password. Right. Successfully changed. Right. Now not the root user. Using root account, we will log in into our SSH using our SSH client. Right. I'm closing this. I'm opening PuTTY. I'm opening PuTTY here, and I'm double click on this. Right, I'm logging as root, not the root user. Right, asking the password. I'm giving the password. Right, everything is done. Now we have installed the server. Right. Now, as beginners, since you are beginners, right? Beginners, that is very difficult to learn at once you can't learn shell commands, Linux shell commands. Now I'm going to teach you how to set up a web-based administration tools on CentOS Linux. Right, this very popular this very popular web-based interface is known as WebMin. Right, we'll see how to install WebMin. You can navigate to www.webmin.com. In webmin.com you can see many packages are there. RPM, we are going to download this software. RPM is a file type that is same as the exe file setup files in Windows, right? RPM stands for Red Hat Package Manager. Even though that is Red Hat Package Manager, we can install those RPMs on CentOS too. There is no any doubt, right? We can use these RPMs to install on CentOS Linux. Now we have installed CentOS. Now I am going to install this package in my server, but I am going to install this via my SSH client, right? For that, what I want to do is I want copy the URL, right? I want correctly type, right? I want correctly type this URL, right? That is very difficult to remind that. That is very difficult to remind. Then I am copying this URL, copy link location. Then I can go to this package. Then I am going to my CentOS machine. Then I am going to install that over the SSH client, right? Okay. First of all, I am going to the root directory, cd / then CentOS is bringing me to root directory. I'm creating mkdir. Mkdir is similar to make directory md in DOS, right? Mkdir webmin. Right, that is created. I can create because I'm a root user. If I'm not the root user, then I can't create even a directory folder in my Linux machine. Right, I have created without problem since I have changed the root password and I have logged onto the machine. Right, then I am going inside the directory. I can cd / you have to type webmin, right? Go inside. Right, now another utility is how can we download this? We can't browse the website in this text-based operating system, right? But I have to download this. Anyhow, I have to download this in my into my CentOS Linux. Now I am going to download that into webmin folder. What I am going to download? The webmin RPM package. Right? We have a text-based download facility in Linux, that is wget. Once you type wget, it says need URL. That means wget is already there, right? Then I am going to paste the URL what I have copied. I have copied the link location in webmin website, the RPM file location. I'm going to paste that. Then I'm going to enter that. Now what is happening? This downloading. That's already downloaded. Very quick, right? Sometimes since this is the first package, the first software, this is the first module I am going to install in this Linux, sometimes there may be some dependencies will required. Dependencies mean one software is required to another software. As an example, in Windows context, when we are installing some software in Windows, it is asking this .NET framework, right, and Java virtual machine, like that. Those are dependencies in Windows. Here also there are some dependencies. Sometimes I know in this installation it is asking Perl. We didn't install Perl. Perl is development environment in Linux, it will ask Perl, right? Anyhow, we can install this, right? RPM package we can install using the RPM command, right? There are different methods, parameters related with this RPM. I'm saying install RPM I is install what? This package. I want to install webmin RPM package, webmin blah blah, that's RPM. I'm going to pass the command. Definitely it says some Perl dependencies are not there. Perl dependencies not there. I know that by experience, right? Anyhow, now I am going to use Perl. Perl what? Exact module we can give, but in my experience, I know we need some more Perl dependency in future. Then I am going to use entire Perl package into this. Then I am asking to download and install and download and install everything related to Perl, right? In Linux, CentOS Linux, we have yum command, yum will download and install what is the package or module you are showing here, yum, right? Yum. Then I am going to install what? I am going to install Perl. Install Perl, but not only just Perl, I am giving one star. Star says everything, right? In wildcard commands in Windows, can you remember star.star? Star says everything. Here I am giving a star. Whatever the thing start in Perl, I wanted to install. Now it is find in. Maybe around 300 to 400 modules will listed under Perl. But those are very small. See, those are very small, and that is not taking much time. Right, altogether how many? Yes, that is around 288 packages. Some updates are there, 21, including 21 updates. Then more than 300. See, I told you. Right, I'm asking yes. Yes, then I'm asking to download in the next step. Now download. Yes, now downloading. That is depend on the bandwidth you have. Now this is using the bandwidth in my virtual machine, not my local machine. Right? I have connected with the remote machine. Be patient while that installs. Don't be hurry. Don't be stop. Don't stop the installation process. Let it download and let it install. It will take around another 2 to 3 minutes. You have to wait. Now around 200, 230. That is very fast. These are not files of Windows. Windows files are very heavy, but these are very light files. But you can experience that by when you are installing. Right, all Perl modules I am installing. Sometimes you have to install all Python modules, Perl modules. Definitely, we learn Perl, Python, everything, right? For open source developments, that is very important. Right, now updating. Installation is over. There are 21 packages just to update. Now that process. Don't stop. Let it go. Right, updating. Now the cleanup process, verification process, few processes are there: installation process, update process, cleanup process, verification process. Once all those processes finish, now Perl installed. Right, type clear to clear the SSH client, right, clear the SSH screen, and now I am going to install webmin. Right, now I am going to install webmin. Now Perl I installed. We'll see whether it is asking another dependency. I think there is no another dependency once the Perl installed. Webmin supposed to install completely. Right, that is finished. Webmin installation completed, and it is given a name and a port, another port. This port is 10,000. You can change the webmin port. In this time I am not going to install the webmin port. I'm going to open the port in Azure Cloud Platform. In Azure Cloud Platform, I have to give some permissions in the firewall. There's a virtual firewall in Azure. Then I have to initiate this 10,000 port number 10,000. Then only inbound port. Then only we can access using this 10,000 port. Right, we'll go to the Azure Cloud. Here go to the networking. In networking, right, add inbound port. We are going to create inbound port here, and any source port range. That means we are accessing using different ports, then we have to give star. This is a custom port, and port number is 10,000, and this is 350. Let it be, and give a special name, port 10,000. Right, port 10,000. In the description we will give some descriptions. Webmin administration port. Webmin administration port. Yes, add now. Added. We'll see. Where is this port? Right, that is added. Here you can see port 10,000. Any allow. Any allow. Right, now I should be able to log into that particular machine. What is the IP address of this machine? The protocol is HTTPS. Right, I'm going to log. Here I am typing the IP address of the public IP address of Linux machine assigned by the cloud platform. That is the URL, and semicolon. After the semicolon we have to give the port. Right, normally we are giving in that way. Port is 10,000. We'll see whether it is logged in or not. Once you enter the IP address and the port, that is logged in the site, but here that says the connection is not private. This is secure thing, and I'm going to advanced, and I'm trying to go inside. Right, here the webmin welcome page. Then I am going to enter my root password and the username here. Root, and what is the password? Then I have entered the password and say sign in. Then there is login into the portal, login into the webmin portal. Inside you can manage your Linux server. Right now that's logged in. Now this is the web interface of your machine. Here you have some configurations to change. You can change any configuration. Right, in systems you can create users, usernames, users groups, change passwords, everything you can do here, right, without going to the SSH interface, right, without using the command prompt. Then you can do many things here, but we can't say this we can use 100%, but command prompt also we have to use. But as beginners, laymen, you can use this webmin as a startup tool. Anyway, now we have studied what is Azure and how to install CentOS virtual machine on Azure, and how we can install different software. I installed only one, the webmin. How we can manage the server using the webmin, and how we can add some inbound ports to access the computer, the server using virtual firewall of Azure cloud platform. Everything we discussed. I think this is a good startup for you to learn Azure as well as Linux. We will meet up very soon with another video tutorial. Till that, be with us. If you didn't subscribe my channel EduQuaX, please subscribe now and wait till I come with another lesson. Thank you very much for being with us.